Hello, and welcome to How to Read Architectural Drawings, a webcast created to support the National Lottery-funded project Drawn Together. This is an introduction to the basic plan types used for architectural drawings and the information they contain. I am Heather Alcock, Heritage Conservation Officer for Port Sunlight Village Trust and Project Manager for Drawn Together. We have written this webcast for people with limited or no experience reading architectural drawings. Although today's webcast is not about the history of Port Sunlight, nor about the undeniably complex and at times impossible to reconcile actions of its founder, William Lever, I thought I should share a few facts about the place. Port Sunlight's founder, William Lever, was born in 1851 in Bolton to a middle-class family who owned a wholesale grocery business. He left school at 16 to join the family business. William and his brother James decided to specialize in one product, soap. Lever Brothers went on to become one of the world's first global companies, and it brought him tremendous wealth. Initially, Lever Brothers rented manufacturing premises, but soon demand outstripped capacity. Lever Brothers bought a marshy piece of land along the River Mersey, which, despite the deep tidal inlets, was well situated for rail, road, and water access. The site was large enough to build the soap works and a worker village, with construction of the works starting in 1888 and the first houses occupied by 1889. By 1891, Lever Brothers had built their first community facility, Gladstone Hall, and they were publishing visitor guidebooks to promote the works and village. By the start of the First World War, the village housed over 4,000 residents who enjoyed a wide range of facilities, including 2 schools, an open-air swimming bath, 3,000-seat theater, gymnasium, library, savings bank, social club, shops, church, tennis and bowling lawns, football pitch, and pub. The houses and facilities were set in a generous landscape with passive green spaces, design landscapes, and allotments. During Lever's lifetime, 29 different architectural practices contributed designs for Port Sunlight, and no 2 terraces is alike. Lever Brothers, which eventually became global manufacturing giant Unilever, invested in the management and maintenance of Port Sunlight as a benefit to its workforce, an advertisement for its products, and the spiritual home of its founder until 1979, when the decision was made to sell off the houses. Tenants were given the first option to buy their homes, and many did. Over the next 20 years, 2/3 of the houses were sold. The sale of houses stopped in 1999, when Port Sunlight Village Trust was created to look after the village. Port Sunlight Village Trust, or PSVT as we are known, is an independent charity. Our workforce is committed to making Port Sunlight an inspiring place to live, work, and visit. PSVT's charitable work is funded by rental income from 300 Grade 2 listed houses and our community or commercial buildings, an annual grant from Unilever, which is scheduled to end in 2023, and grants and donations for our museum and special events. PSVT is responsible for the care and promotion of the entire village, but we do not own all of it. Over 600 of the Grade 2 listed houses are privately owned, and major stakeholders like Rural Council and Network Rail also manage and maintain important aspects of the public realm. In 2019, PSVT celebrated its 20th anniversary, launched its first strategic plan, and implemented its 10-year conservation plan. In 2020, PSVT was poised to open Soapworks, a family-friendly interactive experience about the science of soap and its life-saving properties. COVID has delayed the launch of this wonderful new experience, but we look forward to opening our doors soon. Made possible by national lottery players, PSVT and 4 Northwest project partners have created a digital archive of original drawings for Port Sunlight Village. The documents, which include 1,500 original drawings from 29 architectural practices, illustrate founder William Lever's vision for Port Sunlight, an industrial model village for his workers, and the artistic and physical development, expansion, and evolution of the village over a span of 70 years. Drawn Together is the first phase of a digital archive, which brought together for the first time both the project partners and the holdings from 4 collections: Unilever Art, Archives and Record Management, Whirl Archives, Bolton Library and Museum Services, and National Museums Liverpool. A catalog of the drawings has been created, and a selection of drawings from each of the project partners was digitized. PSVT launched the Drawn Together online exhibition in February 2021. The exhibition includes over 650 drawings, improving access to these fragile and significant visual representations of Port Sunlight's built heritage for all. Once you get comfortable, reading a historic drawing is a bit like reading a map. However, unlike a map, which typically depicts known, existing, or historic features, an architectural drawing visually communicates how a building and/or its elements will, or rather may, look and function when it is built, if it is built. It is the idea before the actual built form and the instruction manual for how to construct the building. This is a note of caution. Drawings are wonderful, but things change during the design and construction process. If you require evidence, historic photographs may be more reliable depictions of actual built forms. Fortunately, the building shown in this slide was constructed as shown. Many times it's easiest to start by reading the words, the title block. The title block will contain the project name, the architect's name, address, the project location, and date, if they were thorough. Sometimes they were not. As a rule, architectural plans are drawn to scale. An example would be 1 inch equals 10 feet. So measuring between 2 walls on the plan sheet means for each inch, the distance is 10 feet. A scale rule will make this much easier, but be careful to match the rule scale to the plan scale. Architects often use a scale of fractions, while engineers use an inch per foot per scale. Some plans or details are not drawn to scale and should be marked not to scale. Many drawing types are used to design and construct a building. At their simplest level, a set of architectural drawings include a block plan, scaled floor plans, sections, and elevation drawings. There are many types of architectural drawings that are required during the process of designing, developing, and constructing building, but some are used at specific times, while others, such as the floor and site plans, are continuously evolved and adapted as the project develops. Block plans, such as the one shown here, show an aerial view of the whole building or group of buildings within its context. They show orientation and access roads. The drawing can also show neighboring structures and streets if they are relevant to the design of the building. An exterior elevation drawing shows the outside vertical surfaces, the ones that form the skin of the building. Elevation drawings may show the materials used. For example, in exterior walls, it could show brick, stucco, or stonework. They also show the location of windows and doors, the roof slopes, and other elements visible from the exterior. A perspective drawing is used to give a two-dimensional drawing of a building a sense of a three-dimensional space. Perspectives were created to convey volume and form. In the example shown above, which is only slightly modified from straightforward elevation, it was done to convey the plan form of the building, which is a shallow curve. A floor plan is essentially a map showing a building's internal arrangement in relation to its external walls. Each floor of a building may be shown on its own plan, as it is here, or multiple floors can be shown on a single composite floor plan. Floor plans show the layout of rooms, internal walls, the location of internal stairs and services, such as plumbing and fireplaces. Floor plans also show the location of windows and doors. A section drawing refers to a vertical, horizontal, or even diagonal cut that results in the removal of one of the selected parts to reveal the object's inner elements. A good example of this is the process of cutting an apple in half to reveal its core and pips, or a cake with all its layers. A roof plan shows a bird's eye view of the roof. Roof plans will show dimensions, the slope or pitch of the roofs, and perhaps materials, as it does in this plan. A detailed drawing shows a small part of a construction project in greater detail. It describes how the elements and materials of a building come together. The example shown here is for the construction of an internal staircase. It's useful to consider what the drawing may have been for and how it might have been used. For example, was it created to sell a new idea to a client, to file for permission from building control, to give instructions to a stonemason or joiners to craft ornamental details, or perhaps as-built drawings to provide a record of completed work? Presentation drawings, such as the one shown here, are used to present, communicate, and sell an idea. This is helped by including shadows, textures, people, and plants or trees. The aim is to show how the spaces might be used and what they may feel like to occupy them. Specific architectural drawings were required for permission from building control. They include a ground plan or block plan, drainage plan, and a section as shown in this approved plan. You will notice that elevation drawings were not typically required for permission from building control. So elevation views are less common in building control collections, such as the ones held by rural archives. Fabrication drawings, oftentimes at full or half scale, were used by craftsmen to create details such as stone windowsills and door surrounds. Be organized and diligent when reading plans. Take an overall look first, then start in the upper left corner and work your way across the page so as not to miss any details. There are often reference points that are used between drawings. These can come in many forms: block numbers, room numbers, a grid system, section references, and so on. Where they are available, start with a site or block plan to orientate yourself. On this particular plan, you will see a block plan in the center of the page, a cross section referenced as line AB, and the first floor plan, showing the layout of the rooms and the cut line for the section. There is a scale at the bottom of the page in feet, a north arrow, and a good clue about how the drawing was used, since it was stamped approved by Roads and Buildings. Thank you for joining me for this short webcast. We hope that you found it useful and that it supports your use and enjoyment of the Drawn Together collection. Thank you also to Port Sunlight Village Trust partners in the Drawn Together project, and lastly to National Lottery players who made this project happen. I've included a few links and contact details for the project partners, for Port Sunlight Village Trust, for the online exhibition, and a really good book about how to understand architectural drawings. Good luck.